Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a super simple Instagram post with a graphic of a quotation. So I know many of you are finding your way here because of my principal social media calendar. I put out a template of 365 days of posts and prompts for principals to make social media easy, and the Canva and creating graphics and creating quotations in Canva is one of the easiest ways to keep your social media page at school looking fresh and inspiring conversation and engagement from your families, your students, and your audience. So I'm going to show you how to quickly create a Instagram graphic with a quotation. Super simple. So I'm in Canva. This is the free version of Canva. I do pay for the bigger version of it, but you certainly don't need to because the free version of Canva is excellent. So what I'm going to show you today is how to quickly create an Instagram post with a cute graphic. Over on the left is where you can pull from all your designs, your folders, things like that. What I'm going to do is create a design. Click on that. That's where it all starts. And because I want to make an Instagram post, you could certainly look up Facebook. Let me type that in and show you. And it'll give you Facebook post dimensions here. I share that with you to illustrate that Canva is super flexible and can be used for all of these social media platforms you're familiar with. So I'm going to create an Instagram post. It already has the dimensions pre-populated for me. Today I'm going to use a quotation from Thomas Edison, and where I might plug this in is under my lead learner category of quotations in my principal social media calendar. So if you're here because you're looking for a quotation for the red category, that this would be one that falls under that. So I'm in Canva, and here's the basic starting place. If you want to go so simple, you're in a hurry, oh my gosh, you've got so much to do, you're a principal, I get it. What you can do is you can pull from a template. And over here are the templates. You can scroll all the way down, and it's where they have all results. And let's say you just want to put something in there about the brain, so the quotation that I'm going to use today is about, it's that I haven't failed. I've just found a bunch of ways to try. And so this might be a fitting one. What I might do is just update the words here to make that happen. In fact, let me just demonstrate that. Let's do that today. So what I see here is when I click on this bunch of text, they all get highlighted, which means to me that they're grouped. And I don't want that. I want to be able to alter these and just add the quotation where I want it. So I'm going to come up here to the upper right-hand corner and click ungroup. And that gives me the autonomy to move these guys around and have the flexibility to take something away if I don't want it. So what I'm going to do right now is literally just make this a bare bones quote because, oh my gosh, I'm in a hurry. School's on fire. Not literally, but you know how it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this font that's in here. So what I'm going to do is change this to the quotation, which is going to read, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Now, this doesn't necessarily look very good the way I've just typed it, and so I'm going to mess with it a little bit. And there you go, my friends. That's a super simple way. You may want to center it. I'm kind of picky here, so I'm going to center it. And this is just a super simple way to have a graphic. Throw it out there into your Instagram post with your school's hashtags and any other hashtags that you think are fitting. And boom, that's a simple, really quick way to create a graphic. I'm going to take this a step further though and show you, if you've got a little bit more time and you want to be creative, how you can do that as well. So I'm just going to delete everything. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to highlight everything on here and then hit the backspace button. When I click over my square, you're going to see up here that because I've chosen a template, this one is populating with some colors, which is actually super cool. So let's say that I want to do more of my school colors, which let's say are maroon, maroon and black. I can do that, and I can, let's say I don't want to do black today, I want to do some gray, so there might be a little bit of my school colors if I want to stay on theme. So anyway, that's the fun stuff that you can do in Canva with some of these templates. When I'm going to do those, I'm going to delete it all. I want to go back to a blank canvas. And today what I want to do is I want to use the exact same quotation. I could have saved my words there to make myself have a little shortcut, but I want to show you what it's like to create a graphic from scratch. I'm going to come over here now to photos. And the reason I share that is because there's a lot of really great backgrounds that you can look up in Canva. One of my favorite ones to use is blurry lights. So I'll just look up blurry lights. And the reason I like this is I feel like it's pretty modern, but it also doesn't blur out the words if I know what I'm doing. And so let me just choose one that's kind of bright. I like this one. Let's use this green today. And what's cool about it is that you can make it be whatever size you want. Again, this is all vector based, and so it's really easy to spread these things out. What might look really nice on here is just a white font or a black font. In some instances, though, you'll find a really cute background that you like that just needs a little bit of adjusting. And so what I'll do is come up here to the transparency bar, and I will slide that a little bit to make it a little bit lighter. So there's some interest in the background, but it's not necessarily stealing the show. So I've got blurry lights, I've got my cute little background. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and add the same text. And so with adding text, what's really cool about Canva is you can pick any 3 of these. It doesn't really matter because you can adjust with total freedom once you get it in there. But because I want to see it, I'm going to go ahead and just use the big one. Use the same quotation. What a great quotation when you're talking about grit and stick-to-itiveness. So, you know, this is fine. This is pretty basic. This is okay. I could work with it the way that I want, but I'm a little bit picky about my fonts. I like to spice up my fonts and use something different each day so that it keeps my audience engaged and looks like I put a little bit of time into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a font that I really like. That is called, what I've done here is just highlight it and drop down on the font bar. And here opens up the massive list of fonts available in Canva. I like Cutive. I think that's how you say it. I think it looks professional and engaging, and it's just fine, very school friendly. I also have another video if you're interested that's called Canva Font Cheat Sheets. It's the way that I can quickly just go through and find fonts that I like so that I don't have to scroll through. There's literally thousands of fonts and it takes forever to scroll down to even just the next letter. So anyway, go check out that video if you're interested in some easy ways to spice up your fonts and find different ones. So I like this, but I feel like it's a little bit boring. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the word 10,000. I'm going to change 10,000s to a different font. And the way that I found works best, I guess the way that I want to do that today is I want to create some space between these sayings and put a special 10,000 here so that it adds a little bit of visual interest. And so what I've done here is just spaced it out a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is add another phrase, another text box, excuse me, and change this to 10,000 so that I can easily change its font without messing with it. Canva doesn't really like to have 2 fonts in one text box. So that's one shortfall, but it's totally easy to work around. So for this 10,000, I'm going to use a visually interesting font that I like called Cabin Sketch. It's also available in the free version, which is super cool, but it looks very sketchy and very different. So I'm now going to hover over the box and try to align it in the center a little bit. You can see those pink guidelines show up, which is really nice. And let's say I want this to really pop. I'm going to turn this to a bright pink. And in fact, I'm going to go now into the color editor and choose a really bold pink that's just going to pop like that. And so as you look at this, it's a little more aesthetically pleasing, not so boring as just a bunch of words put together. I'm not a fan of the spacing right now. I want to bring this together just a little bit. So I've clicked on spacing. Here I can adjust my letter width. Let's say I want it to be really wide, or I can make it narrower. So for me, that works a little bit better. And I'm going to bring this guy up. And now the last thing to do is to put an attribution here to the author. I'm going to use a different font once again because I just like there to be some variety for pleasure here. And so I'm going to attribute this to Thomas Edison. And for this one, since this has some serifs, I'm going to use something that has no serifs. And so I'm going to use one of my other favorite fonts. I'm going to use Glacial Indifference. Drop down the font bar and type in Glacial. Again, I have a cheat sheet, so I know the fonts that I really like. And that's how I have come to know these. Now, for a little bit more visual pleasure, I'm going to change the color of this guy too, so it doesn't just look like it all blends together. I'm going to go with a version of this pink, just so that people's eyes pop a little bit. So I clicked on, fortunately, Canva populates up here the colors that you chose, so you can easily get back there. If you want to know what the color number is, you can see as you hover over it, it gives me that pound or hashtag FF009D. And you may be somebody who wants to identify your color and make a note of that for you on a sticky or on your Canva cheat sheets, so that you can easily type in up here that number that is your school color. So that's one of the cool features of Canva. It's very user-friendly and school-friendly. But I want a variation of this hot pink, so I'm going to come up here and click on new color, and it starts me there, but let's say I want to go a little bit darker. So I just brought it down just a little hair to bring the tone down just a little hair. And that's it. So what I'm going to show you now is how to just download this graphic, and it's, like I said, already in Instagram size, and so you can just easily upload it to your Instagram account. So I'm going to click on download. And it gives me some options of how I want to download it. Let's say you have a white image here and you want it to be transparent because you're going to plug this over another item. I can show you that in another tutorial, but you can easily make it transparent. You can adjust the size here. And you can also choose your file type, which I love as an educator because I feel like we're in and out of different files all the time. So if you want this to be a JPEG or a PDF, something you print out, let's say you're making a poster, you can easily select that. I'm going to choose PNG. It's very good resolution for images on social media, so I'm going to click on that and then click download. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you're going to easily create an Instagram graphic made of a quotation. These, like I said, work really well if you're using my Principal social media calendar, 365 days of prompts specifically designed for school principals. You can hand that calendar over to a secretary and they can help you out tremendously as well. So if you like what you've seen here today and are looking for some more productivity tips, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and best of luck to you in your school world. Thanks. Take care.